Hey, it's Adam, Avalon Auto, Alpharetta, Georgia, AvalonAutoAtlanta.com. Next up, local trade-in 2005 Mazda B4000 4x4, aka the Mazda Ford Ranger. This was actually produced by Ford for Mazda back in those years. So it's basically a Ford Ranger with Mazda emblems, but great shape, only 74,000 miles. Again, local trade-in. This thing spent the first part of its life in Virginia, then North Carolina, and then Georgia. No accidents on the Carfax. Body is super clean and straight. I mean, this thing is one of the nicer old trucks we've ever had. I mean, it's very, very nice. Surprisingly great shape. We did send it through full detail and mechanical inspection. Did a good amount of mechanics. That'll be in the full description. I remember pinion seal, brakes, fluids, a handful of other things, but there were a decent amount of little things that they found. And then we also resprayed all the plastics, just they were faded. Redid the pinstripes, they were also faded and chipping. But this little guy is an awesome little truck. Good Cooper Discovery all-terrain tires around it. If I kept it, I'd probably put a small little baby lift kit on it and a little bit bigger tire, but this thing is just perfect as it sits. 2005 Mazda B4000, aka the Mazda Ford Ranger, V6 automatic. Interior is super clean. It does have the factory crank windows. Sometime in its life it had power windows added, however they are not functional and one of them's missing the switch. We're not going down the rabbit hole to try to fix the aftermarket windows. It's got the cranks, they work just fine. It's only 2 doors, so it's not a big deal. It is also missing the jump seats, which those jump seats are pretty useless. We did see a couple on eBay, but I'm not 100% certain on the mounting points and all that, so we're not going to go down that rabbit hole either. It's got some storage in the back, but super nice, very clean. Does have a nice aftermarket double din radio. 73,000 miles. Everything works. The backup camera we are going to remount because it's in a kind of a weird spot and it was zip tied up and it didn't like the way it was done. So we're going to redo the backup camera. But everything else is nice. Ice cold AC, hot heat, 2-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low. Everything works great. Again, backup camera has been installed, but it's currently pointing at the sky because we haven't remounted it yet. But this thing is so nice. If you've been looking for a Ranger or a Mazda, again, this was manufactured by Ford Motor Company for Mazda in 2005. So very, very clean, very, very nice truck. Body's nice. We did have to do some PDR, so it did have some dings in the bed sides and whatever that we got out. It does have a nice Line X bed. Tow hitch was there. We just pulled it out for now. Again, this is the camera. We're going to mount this somewhere else because it points at the sky, or we're going to swap that camera most likely to one that can tilt. But very, very clean little Mazda B4000 Ford Ranger truck. I mean, if you got a kid that's looking for a little truck, this is perfect. These things are notorious to be fantastic vehicles. There's quite a few TikTok reels. Ford Ranger, I ain't no stranger. It's a Ford fucking Ranger. All that kind of stuff. I mean, these things are awesome little trucks. Again, super clean engine bay. No rust in the engine bay. There is, because it lived in Virginia, some surface stuff, more like oxidation on the undercarriage. Nothing bad, nothing structural. We went around with a hammer. There's no soft spots. Everything's nice and clean. Could be cleaned up, but it's not what we consider rusty per se. But it's also not a full Southern truck. But again, we already did all the inspection and maintenance on it. There was no seized bolts, nothing that needed to be cut off. Everything, shop had no trouble working on this thing. So very nice little truck. Ford Ranger, Mazda B4000. Does have all the manuals. I believe there's a USB connection in here somewhere for this thing. I'll have to fish that out. But Adam with Avalon Auto, Alpharetta, Georgia, AvalonAutoAtlanta.com. Very, very nice little Ranger truck, or Mazda B4000. I keep saying Ranger because technically it is underneath the badging. But let us know if you have any questions. Guess I didn't close that tailgate well because it just fell down. This thing also has Apple CarPlay, which again we'll find the USB connection. But very nice little head unit, very nice little truck. Give us a call if you have any questions. 73,000 mile Mazda B4000.